Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, Big Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. Ain't got nothing on but the hoodie and my pyramids. But I'm doing what I do for you. I got a quick lesson. I'm just sitting here chilling in the lab and I listen to my dude, Dr. Ray Hagan's man every week. I got a little something from him, so I put down the lesson. So let's go. You know what we do. Right is 25 rules led by storytelling. Story with a message. The message is story for life. I give you life lessons. I see you tuning in and receiving them. I hope they're working out for you. We got a good thing going. That's right. Right thinking mission. And I'm on. It's 2024. I'm not starting. I'm on my grind. So I'm coming at you a little more aggressive this time. Why? Because I'm starting to get a little following. I'm getting a little feeling myself a little bit. So I ain't a little nervous. I ain't a little timid. No, I'm going to do what I do. Let's go. Enlighten you the way I do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Meaning you're learning something about yourself. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka knowing thyself. My mission is to get you there. Your goal is to get there by the things I'm giving you, the lessons that you can learn, and that'll put you right where you need to be, like me, knowing thyself. All right. The question I ask all the time: do you know you? If you don't have an answer, it's rhetorical, but tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Get you to know you. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. So I'm gonna piggyback off my man Dr. Ray Hagens and right thinkers. Let's talk about 2024. Right thinking teaches you to be and know yourself. With knowledge of self, you can be your best self. With lack of knowledge of self, you can be anything except yourself. I'm big on knowing yourself. I guess you see that. So yeah, my purpose is to get you information that'll help you do just that. Know thyself. So let's go. If you don't know you, again, how can you be your best you without? If I'd had knowledge of myself, my best self wouldn't have been a local drug dealer. So again, the sooner you get knowledge of self, the better off you can put your life in perspective and live a good and fruitful life. Young people, you ain't got to struggle. You struggle because you want to. We struggle because we're ignorant. So doing bad things and wrong things brings on the suffering because that's the consequences of wrong action. You do the right thing, you be taken care of. It's called blessings. All right. That's the concept that you have to get the frame of mind. If you're going to be spiritually enlightened, you need to understand the spiritual concept comes from God. Christians call it Christ like. I don't care what you call it, but you got to manifest it for yourself. That's the name of the game. So, okay, the question is, how can you be? With self-knowledge, aka right thinking philosophy. That's what I give you, self-knowledge. Knowing thyself is the only way. Again, knowing thyself is the only way to what? Be your best self. That's why right thinking philosophy gives you self-knowledge. With that, you can do whatever you want through Christ. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. As a right thinker, we can do all things through knowledge of self that really strengthens you. Okay, manifestation of what you learn, you bring it to light. That's strength. That's power. That's the bro. Knowledge ain't power. The use of knowledge is the power. I'm trying to get you to understand how to use your knowledge to become Powerful. Let's go. And right thinking philosophy gives you a way of life that you can live and prosper what spiritually. That's godly. Doing the right thing. Spiritual people live for God. Christian people live for Jesus Christ. Okay, that's fine. If that's what's gonna get you to be and do the right thing, I don't have a problem with that. I think. Why? Because everybody has their own way to get to God. If it's 9 billion people, you got 9 billion ways and opportunities to get to God. That means every individual has the same right. We don't do racism, prejudice. Why? It's we do. Everything is universal. At the time when it was just us, it was just black. We didn't have to worry about white. We had to worry about somebody else. No, it was just us. Chinese didn't worry about nobody but them. Understand that it's a culture thing, and knowledge of self puts you in a state of mind where you understand that. Watch this. We are, again, spiritual beings. All of us. What color you are, wait, don't make a difference. You're still spiritual. Spirit that's in you. That's what it's all about. And and when you gain spiritual knowledge, meaning you will understand and know God for yourself, you can live, obey, and be the best self you can be. That's the goal for right thinkers. That's my intent. Okay. Now, with spiritual knowledge, that's the way to what? Know thyself. Again, with spiritual beings. God is spirit. You need that knowledge. I don't care about believing in God. Don't mean nothing to me. I want you to know God. I don't teach believing in God. I don't care. Okay. Spiritual people know God. Okay. We are spiritual beings. Oh, excuse me. Now, right thing philosophy does what? It empowers you. How? With self-knowledge. Again, knowing thyself gives you what? The power. Again, to what? Be your best self. Virtue, character, courage in your character, righteous living builds your character. These is qualities that when you live, exhibit, people will recognize and respect. Right thinkers are known for how they conduct themselves. Not running around, I'm a right thinker. No, I don't do that nonsense. Okay, I wear my equipment, I wear my gear, but I act accordingly. When you see me with my eye on, I'm on point. You see me like this, I'm still on point. See, I don't need the eye to be on point. So understand that. And for my man, I'm so glad I know myself. Why? Now I can be myself. I didn't know myself then. I thought I was somebody else. I was golden. I'm swift living, ego tripping, and body snatching. Wilding out on myself. Why? That's all ego. That's all ego. Talking slick, get people in, believe what you're saying. Yeah, they're gonna buy into it. Okay. Then they're gonna follow you. Okay. Swift flipping, you all about you. Ego tripping, and you got people following you. That's like that person who don't know but believe they know. Dangerous. Those kind of people are dangerous. Why? They're gonna lead you the wrong way. And if you follow them, you're going to go the wrong way. It's obvious. Moving on. I can't beat my man. I leave you don't do. Now, in the words of my spiritual teacher, Dr. Ray Hagins. Okay, I listen to him every Sunday. Been listening to him for years. Seeing him go through the bad health, watching being that brother is a trooper, my man. Okay. Now, in his words, I'm so glad I could be myself. But in order for you to be able to make that statement, you have to know yourself. That's my job to get you there. Then you can show your pride and gladness by living it, manifesting it, and exercising your right to say, I'm so glad I can be myself. But after having knowledge of self, let's go. When you're ignorant of yourself, you can be your best. You can be yourself. Just won't be your best self. Why? You don't know yourself, so you can't give it your best. You just haphazardly, you winging it. I was, yeah, I made a lot of stuff up as I was going. Because it was me ego tripping. When you're ignorant, with knowledge, lack of knowledge of self, right? AKA, excuse me, no, not. When you're ignorant, you have lack of knowledge of self. When with right thinking philosophy gives you knowledge of self, aka you can be your best self. I prepare for greatness every day. Why? Once I know who I am, I can be my best self and push myself to be the greatest I can be. Not the greatest, I ain't got nonsense. Greatness is you being your best self. Simple as that. That's how I symbolically put it in perspective for myself. I don't do it for nobody else other than myself. So understand that if you living for somebody else, you live for the wrong reasons. Right thinkers live for self. Everything self. That'll make you selfish. The first law of man is what? Self-preservation. So if you ain't taking care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody else. So that's just the concept. It ain't no other thing than having your stuff together. Moving on. God don't make us one. Mm-mm. Knowledge of him, serving him, fellowship and worship him makes us one as a spiritual family. You hear me talk about my church family? Man, I got so much love for those people who I fellowship with on Sundays and Wednesdays. That's a love that's bond that's unbreakable. Why? Because it's godly. It's a spiritual thing. It ain't physical. So what's the break? We are spiritually connected through the concept and belief in living a godly concept. All Muslims love each other. All Jews love each other. So that's the spiritual love. You can share the love. Okay, but understand that. Where am I down here? We're not okay. I did that. We did that one. Here you go. Okay, we wrapping that up. Now let's talk about don't be somebody else. Without knowledge of self, you may fall victims to what? Being somebody else. If you don't know yourself, who you gonna be? You might want to be like him, or you like him. I'll be like him. Be like Mike. Be like your best self. Christians want to be like Christ. I ain't got a problem with that. But for the right thinkers, Haru is who you really want to be. That's your higher self, your best self. That's your spiritual self. That's God reincarnated in the flesh, which I claim Christ to be. So I'm just trying to explain to you, you can be that. Be all that. That's what I try to be. Why? I live a spiritually disciplined lifestyle. I'm only going to do what's right by you and anybody else. Why? That's what I was told to do. Moving on, let's go. With self-knowledge, you don't have to worry about what? Being somebody else. Not a chance. I want to be like my dad. Till I realized, oh, wait a minute. No, no, no. It's like, no. But when you're young, your first idol should be your parents. Women, females, like their mother. Boys, like their father. But the problem is now with our generational thing where ain't no father around to be like, to emulate, to set the tone. You gotta find a male figure. You gotta find an uncle. You gotta hope somebody wanna come into your life and play that role for you. They ain't got to be your biological father. Fellas, if you get with a female, she got a son, you become a father. Indirectly, direct. But you need to do the things that's gonna help him be his best self. You ain't got to do nothing but instruct him on how to be his best self. But if you don't know, you can't teach him either. Moving on. A lot of that going around too. All right. I have always wanted to be who I thought I was. Okay. And when I was ignorant, I thought the best drug dealer going in town. You couldn't tell me nothing. Okay. So ignorance brings on ignorant. Ignorant is as ignorant does. When you're ignorant, you're gonna do ignorant stuff. Okay? Mark Wright. If you'd told me anything other than that, no, I ain't going there. Mark Wright is my name. Okay, that my parents gave me at birth. P Funk is the identity I took because this is how I saw myself as being pure real. The title that I gave myself symbolically to me means I'm pure real. Why you take P Funk? Why you go so? My man, I'm telling you, P is for pure, funk means real. Now, that's definitely gonna get. If you don't understand that, I can't no more for you. But yeah, my alter ego is that real dude. Okay, why? I see a lot of fake people do a lot of fake stuff. That's the last thing I want to do. So pure real, I had to hold myself accountable to be just that. That's why when I went from the streets to prison to UPS to Masonic Order to where I am now, still kept it real. So P Funk is who I am. I'm not taking on no God's name. Well, I ain't a God. I'm pure real. That's me. So I can identify with myself. I don't need nobody else to give me no name and tell me who I am. I'm telling you who I am. Sorry about that, but that's the deal. P Funk is my alter ego. My ego self is Mark. That's who I identify with. But when I raise my conscious level, and I raise my ability to be my best self, I become P-Funk. So understand it. I can make it, I can explain it, whatever it is, but trust me, I ain't ego trip on some nonsense. I can tell you just what it is I do and why. So when you know yourself, that's how you prepare and keep yourself in due balance with what? Harmony with anybody who want to question what you're doing. Put them in check, explain it to them, and move on. Okay, let's go. Now, I found out how to be myself by doing what? Practicing living a righteous and virtuous lifestyle. Now I'm glad. Why? I can be myself. I am who I am. I ain't got to worry about when I'm on camera. I am the same person. When I put this down, cut off, I'm the same dude. Same dude. Can you say that? I don't know people coming here to be somebody else. No, I didn't come down for that. No, I'm the same dude. That's my point. So if you think I'm this way and trust me. I ain't no celebrity. I'm just a regular dude like anybody else. But watch this. Now you can know thyself with what? The spiritual truth that I give to you. That's how you become a master by implementing them and putting them in your daily life. Like I said, daily, and you become a master. You do something on a daily basis, you should be good at it. Life. If you've been living a long time. You should be good at life and nothing else. Come on now. So, young people, start young. Why? Then your life will be fun. We don't have to struggle. Stop thinking because you see your parents struggle. You see, no, the people who did the right thing don't see the struggle. They just go through life and do what they gotta do. Be like them. Okay. Making problems for yourself, doing dumb stuff, that's causing the struggle. Then you cause that. Okay. So I call them fetters. Fetter is something that you bring on yourself. Why? Because you got to pay for the consequences. The blessings is when you do the right thing, good things happen for you. Young people, get that concept, please. Thinking, watch this now. Thinking you is the biggest problem with a lot of ignorant people is not knowing you. What? Living right proves you know you. All that talking means nothing. It's how you walk that shows us. It ain't what you say, it's what you do. And what you say match what you do, that's true. When what you say don't match what you do, you not a liar. Simple as that. There's no balance in your word and your action. When they ain't level the same, you are a liar. Simple as that. Moving on. When I was ignorant, and I thought I knew myself. I'm Mark Wright. You kid, man. And in high school, I made the papers, I played sports. So my name, always Mark Wright. I hated that. I hated that. I know if you call me Mark Wright, I know where you know me from. School, high school. hmm I get it, I understand. When you call me P-Funk, streets, prison, and now, okay, it ain't changed. See, again, that name ain't changed. I'm still doing what I do, being myself. See, it ain't changed. And watch this. I was so wrong when I thought I was the best drug dealing pimp going around, making money, ego tripping. When you are ego tripping, you are going to have problems. Trust me on that one. So, when you're ignorant, again, watch this, of yourself, you don't know thyself, but with right thinking, that will change all of that. I'm living proof. That's I know that. I love that part. Why? I'm not just a master. I'm the user of my philosophy. Why? I know it works. That's how I can tell you it works. I use it. Moving on. I want my right thinkers to what? Know themselves. That's my mission, is to get you to do that. And at that level, you on your own, you're good to go. But and what? Once you reach a level of self-mastery by knowing yourself, I can guarantee you will be so glad to be yourself and know yourself. That's the thrill that, like no other, that's true happiness and peace within oneself. To know thyself is the highest level you can reach spiritually. Why? Because you made that connection. You become anointed. You become Christ-like. Again, when you recognize God in you, you can do whatever you want to do. But make that happen for yourself. Watch this. Now, let me wrap it up. Last one. I appreciate you. I keep looking at that clock. Right thinkers, they know themselves and they are free to be their best self. Again, start at the beginning. You can't be your best self if you don't know yourself. You can be your best, but it won't be yourself. You can be working on ego. You can be working on thought, not knowing. Okay. Freedom. Watch this. Is knowing thyself. Why? Because the self prison that ignorance puts you in, you want to free yourself from that ignorant state of mind. So knowledge of self frees you from that mental prison of ignorance of yourself. I'm trying to get you out of that. Why? That state of mind keeps you messed up. You can't function like that. Come out that box. AKA, think outside the box. The box is your ignorant state of mind. Moving on. With knowledge of self, you can now what? Be yourself. Being ignorant of yourself, you will suffer from your own self. You will call that's called self-suffering, or aka fetters. You causing your own demise. Remember, the ego hieroglyph is the man with a hatchet to his head. I'm gonna modernize it since the man with a gun in his head. That's the ego, blowing his own brains out. He's self-destructive. Always have been, always will be. Okay, it's a concept that don't change. It's a principle. It's a law that if you manifest, do good stuff, you reap what you sow. What you put out is what you're going to get back. If you think you're going to change that, you are a fool. Live within it. That's the problem with the Western civilization, man. East, they understand God. They live with nature. Native Americans, they understand God. They live within nature. The average Australian, they understand nature. We want to defeat nature. We want to compete against nature. And to this day, Father Time and Mother Nature, undefeated, undisputed champs. They ain't ever going to lose to no human. Excuse me, that's man. Sorry about that. Let me wrap this up. Having knowledge of self is not religious. It's knowing what thyself, not believing. Religion wants you to believe, and the power of belief will get you to act accordingly. But not everybody. That power of belief sometimes don't get them where they want to be. They can fake it and pretend to be, and they really not. With spirituality, you can't fake this. Okay? Right thinking philosophy is Gnostic. Gnostic is another word for knowing. We are knowers. Right thinking philosophy is a knowing system, knowing God for yourself, experiencing Him, knowing Him, and you are one. That's right thinking philosophy. Not just believing in God and hoping and wishing and praying that He do something for you. Not religious, aka belief system. I don't practice the belief system. Just moving on. Last one again. Our fellowship. Again, no disrespect. What? I fellowship with Christian Christ believers but they know themselves through Christ. I don't have a problem with that at all because they're living right. You don't have to know Christ to live right, but they're using it. If that's what works for them, that's why I respect the fact that they know themselves through the way they live. And I ain't got a problem with that. That's righteous. So we're on the same page with that. That's why I love my biblical church family. I respect the biblical and religious people who are doing it and practicing it the right way. I don't want to fake right thinker. Why? Don't do that. Make me look bad. No. Do or don't do. Simple as that. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be back. We just getting started.